because I mean we're starting back off in a cave. So yeah, I think from last time you killed the spooky evil mind flayer. The red crystal that seemed to have corrupted the goblins has been destroyed. A comrade has died, and we now return as you guys awaken from a long rest that you guys have decided to take right after. And you guys are kind of once again in this big main room with these dead goblin corpses. How would you like to proceed? I see Lord Knack has his retinue again.
Oh no, I just assumed that whenever we're doing anything after the fact that Lord Knack is just going to use all of his 3rd level spell slots with Animate Deads. So he's going to go through and raise his army again.
Okay, fantastic. So he's just got, a bunch of skeletons around him.
Yeah.
Or zombies.
Skeletons.
Fantastic.
But he's spending at least over an hour on this, so whatever the rest of them end up doing, that's what he's doing.
Okay. So as Lord Knack is summoning these skeletons.
Raising.
How do the rest of you get prepared once you wake up? Because I mean, you're all healed now. You're rested. You have your hit die back if you spent it.
Felipe will spend that hour praying to his god,
saying, "Thanks, I'm not dead."
Yeah, I won't steal again. I swear, my fingers will never be sticky. Not another coin purse, so long as I live.
That's when that would be the time when the god would respond and be like, "Okay, sure."
He's gonna get smote.
He'll just be like,
because
"All right."
D&D guards are very intimate with their followers. I'm gonna get a bolt of lightning right in my face.
Yeah, you're gonna go into town, see a nice shiny gem, go for it, and then lightning out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I have to, and then I'm gonna just boom, dead.
And then you're gonna be like, how did this happen? Yeah, so I would say Cold Crush is kind of just readying himself, kind of getting all his gear back on. I mean, I guess he sleeps with his gear on. You're in a dangerous cave, so I guess he's just making himself more prepped than he already is. So an hour passes already because Lord Knack takes the time to make his army, his small army. And I guess, unless you guys want to do anything else, you can make your way back to Fairmeadow, the town you first got the job in. Maybe get paid. Or maybe you don't even have to go back to town. You just go wherever you want. So yeah, what's the plan?
I think we should just go back to town, turn this quest in, and see if there's anything else to do.
All right. So with that said, I think I was about to say the 3 of you, but really it's the 3 and then the 8 accompanying you. So it's making your way out of the cave.
4 plus 8.
Right, yeah. And as you guys are making your way out of the cave, you kind of walk past all your old battles. It's not like they disappear or anything. You walk past the giant...
Well, no. Some of them I would have had to use to raise.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, but yeah, you still pass by the ball of fleshy mass that almost one-shot Cold Crush. That was such a good time. He didn't die. It was all in good fun. You come back, and you see your first battles with the goblins, and you kind of see the area where the path split off in 3 different ways. Back where a bunch of the mindless goblins were, Now, in the center of that intersection is just kind of a whole, like, just black shard ash against the walls and the floor. This place got a makeover recently, and unfortunately, you guys won't use it. I mean, maybe not. Who knows? But hopefully, whoever inhabits the cave next likes their walls with black soot. So, I mean, you guys make your way back to the entrance, finally getting some fresh air as you see the forest around you. And I think Cold Crush had the map back, but to make this interesting and so we can actually play Dungeons and Dragons, why don't those of you who would like to roll a survival check to see if you just know your way back. Otherwise, I'll just say it takes longer than normal.
I'll cast guidance on whoever would like to attempt.
Okay.
Slap that D4 on there, lads and lads.
Okay. And out of the two of you, are either of you going to make survival checks?
I mean,
Do you want it? What's your survival? Mine's +3.
mine's +2.
Nope.
Felipe is probably like, he probably in his head is like, I have no idea where we are. But, of course, he doesn't want to say that. So what he's really like is
I don't
probably,
look like an idiot.
yeah, so in reality, you're probably like, oh yeah, no, it's just over here. Easy. So 2 hours of walking through the forest later, you realize it definitely wasn't over this way. Definitely lost. Actually, you've passed by the cave entrance again, so you definitely know you're kind of going in circles. And then you kind of make your way, eventually reaching the edge of the forest, where a little bit of ways, maybe about 30-40 feet, is the road that you know kind of goes back to town. So you should be able to find your way back with relative ease. And on the road, so we can make this nice and sweet, is Arcloid's new character if he just wants to introduce it, unless it's just the same as the last one.
Well, except now he's looking for
one.
Well, same stats, but not the same name.
Oh.
Same
Okay.
training. Was trained with Beck, but he would also have been his rival, so he's going to be very upset to find out that Beck is dead, but he'll be happy to. So it's one of those
What?
situations.
Yeah, Beck was a doppelganger of this guy.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
That guy stole my identity. My name's Keb.
I am the real Keb. Okay. So, yeah, you see another tabaxi kind of just walking along. And he, like, notices you guys. And, Ark, are you just gonna, like, walk over to them? Or are you, like, gonna keep going on your way? Because you're, like, heading towards the town anyway to look for your brother. Your relative.
He'll keep going. He doesn't have any reason to mess with these people who are being trailed by skeletons. So
I do like the idea that we start off with us recovering and heading back to town, and for the next hour and 45 minutes, we're gonna follow Arcloid's character as he tries to find his brother.
Wait a minute. Did Mac raise Beck's corpse?
Yeah, probably. But I would have also shaved the flesh off of it, so it's just a skeleton. So no, you would not recognize it. Unless you were intimately familiar with Beck's bone structure.
Probably not.
Although the gear would still be there, though. He'd still be wearing the gear.
When Felipe passes the new guy, the new tabaxi, he's gonna nick the coin purse. He's gonna bump into him and nick the coin purse.
So how hard does he get struck by lightning?
How much damage do I take when God reaches down?
Yeah, let me check my invisible DM screen for a second. How much health do you have?
How unfortunately, it's in Wonder Woman's jet.
A bolt of lightning comes down and deals
I
34
wouldn't
points of damage.
try.
No, make a sleight of hand check and see if. Oh. I mean,
Higher than your perception, sir.
yeah. So with just one quick jolly jaunt over to this new Tabaxi, you're like, oh, this Tabaxi looks familiar. Oh, I hope he wasn't related to the other Tabaxi we just found and then he died. Oh, well. Oh, is that a coin purse? Huh, what did I say about not stealing anything? I don't remember. Whoop! And he
My
just,
fingers are just so sticky.
yeah.
How much
Yes.
money do you have on you that is now mine?
48 gold.
48 gold?
Wait. This should be a starting character, so let me go look. I think it's going to be only 10 because he's starting.
Except that you started with more because of Bane.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So I would say 48 is a good amount. You could just say it the same. So you get 48 gold pieces.
I'm gonna just keep those, thank you.
So, in this awkward ensemble of now 9 people, well, very real people. Not to discredit the 8 skeletons following behind Lord Knack, but I mean,
I mean, one of them used to be a PC.
used to be is the key term.
I guess
You
I
guys
should
make
name
your-
that one. Well, they all have names. I guess I should name that one Beck, though, so I remember.
You can remember.
I know
okay.
I've named them all. If you double-click, they have names. I will rename Cuboid to Beck.
Yes, now I see. Okay. Wow. Great names.
Yeah, I figure every time I play a Necromancer and raise an army and then name all my skeletons, that's when we found out the game was coming to an end.
Well, we'll find a use for him. Okay. So you guys all make your way to the edge of town. And I guess as you finally make your way back to Fairmeadow and you reach the edge of this
You know what?
town.
I'm sorry. Just one last interlude here.
Sure.
I'm going to retcon what I just said for the purposes of both Arcloid and what I'm doing here. I raised Beck, right? I would not have carved him up. Beck would be a zombie. So I have 7 skeletons and 1 zombie.
So,
Wow.
does this change anything?
Yeah, he will come up to Lord Knack, doesn't know his name, of course, and say, excuse me, but what are you doing with him? And point to the Tabaxi corpse that's currently in inventory.
His inventory.
It's a good word. I don't hear enough, so I might as well use it.
While they're talking, because Felipe believes this might end in bloodshed, he is going to try and loosen the belt of Arcloid's new character so that when he draws a weapon, his pants fall down.
Alright, I guess we'll need another perception versus a sleight of hand check to see how well this.
Oh dear, what did I walk into?
Just me doing my thing.
Turtle
Yeah, Felipe
fucking with
likes.
Arcloid.
I mean, he's
lower
getting the
down.
advantage. So yeah, all you missed, Griffin, was that a long rest happened. You guys exited the cave. Lord Knack now has a small army of
Retinue.
undead. Yeah, retinue of undead. And
And I'm already stealing from the new player.
after getting lost in the forest for an hour and maybe about 2 hours, you finally make your way to the edge of the forest where close by on the road is Arcloid's new character, which is Beck's brother, which was the Tabaxi that died last session.
Ah, wonderful.
Not brother, but rival.
Oh, yeah, it's rival. my bad.
Do need a point of clarification, though, with you, Griffin. You were taking Beck's armor, right?
Was I?
Because Beck's armor was magical, I thought.
Well, mine's magical too.
Oh,
But,
is it?
I mean,
Okay.
I suppose
What
I'm holding
armor
on
was
to
he
it then.
wearing?
Mithril, let me check real quick here.
Well, because the idea was that, as I recall from last time we played, that one of my undead was now going to have very great armor. But I thought you were taking the magical, and I was getting your non-magical.
It's Mithril Halfplate.
That won't help me any.
Alright. Mithril Halfplate has an AC of what?
17 plus dex.
Max of 2.
Yeah, max of 2.
17 plus dex. Okay. So one zombie is in Mithril Halfplate.
Nice.
Fantastic. So that being said, we continue off with the question.
Alright, give me a second. How was it to you?
I know him. Well, I knew him.
Yes, knew him. He's not him anymore.
Yes, I gathered that. Please tell me how he died.
He'll,
Well, it's a bit of a complicated battle, I suppose, but to put it lightly, this little guy over here had his mind manipulated. This one over here went down in a heartbeat, and then I got frozen in place for probably a total of a minute. And then he single-handedly fought off, well, what's the word? Illithid. There we go. Illithid. Yeah, by himself. For a good little bit of time.
Too good of a
I'm
death.
quite honestly surprised us idiots are alive.
I see. Well, too good of a death for him.
Death is death. It's over. If it was a little faster, I could have changed that, but, well, time makes fools of us all.
And with that, you all make your way back to town.
Alright.
So yeah, once again, you guys continue on your way. Reaching the edge of town, there are some some local villagers just on their merry way. Some coming back into town carrying some supplies of some sort, bags of who knows what, and other tools. And some of them kind of look at your group coming in. They see what looks to be just the nice just ring of corpses around Lord Neck. And
Before we go in, I might want to stop Lord Neck and go, maybe don't bring a small army with you into town.
I don't have a
Lord
spell we
Knack.
could use to disguise them either.
Lord Knack at this point, by the way. At some point during the travel, he would have looked over at the zombies. Not the zombies, the skeletons. And they would have, kneeled down on the ground. And, clasped their hands together in some sort of weird right-angled formations to form a seat. So he's at this point being carried at eye level with you guys. Between two zombies, like some sort of traveling.
I know you're enjoying having people to boss around again there, but, well, question is, are you ready to fight for it?
How dare
There's
you
no doubt
question
they're
the
gonna like
legal
it.
veracity of a magister of the city-state of Ulrich?
Well, who cares about that? If they come up with pitchforks and torches at you, then that's gonna be your problem. I'm just saying. Are you ready to fight?
It'll
them
be
if
their
they don't
problem
like
if they
it.
desire to bring down the ire of the city-state of Ulrich.
I'm just saying, I'm making good money off of them. Kinda interested in staying in their favor for a little while.
He doesn't regard you further.
Alright, well that's your choice. Your funeral. And Cole will just shrug and continue on to the village.
okay.
Just give him a really wide berth. Let him go in on his own and get murdered by guards.
Hey, I'm just walking here. None of my business. I don't see anything.
Huh? Anyone see any group of undead? I don't. It's the strangest thing.
No, you
I
know,
would
all I
never
see is like the
associate
bottom
with
of this
someone who-
mug. I need to get it refilled.
Yeah, I'd never associate with someone who cavorts with the undead as a holy member of the church.
Well,
I definitely take my piety very seriously.
Yes, I too
Very.
take pie very seriously.
Pie's delicious.
oh, the best.
Chocolate
Anyways,
pie. Blessed be thy name.
so you make your way towards the edge of town. Some of you, a little farther away from the undead throne sitting kobold than others. You know, the townspeople who notice your group, mostly Lord Nack and his retinue, keep their distance. They aren't freaking out, but they're certainly not. They don't have any pleased expressions on their faces by looking at this. And
It's good
You
that
know-
necromancy's not illegal here, just frowned upon.
yeah, necromancy is like not considered evil. It's just more like,
Gross.
oh, why would you do that? And
It's just gross. Yeah, they're just like,
Yeah.
ew.
And the only place where it's like openly accepted is, as I'm sure you've heard by now multiple times by Lord Nack, is the city-state of Ulrich, where it's kind of in their laws that necromancy is kind of used more than any other types of magic. Anyways, you guys get some townspeople who like run off to go like call some people, and so you guys walk down a couple of like the road and pass some blocks, and you guys see a guard. And unlike the guards you're familiar with, the guy who gave you the job, essentially, this guard is wearing like a bright yellow tabard with like black stripes that kind of go down diagonally throughout it. And you recognize this to be one of the Lord's men, who kind of they're not really the nicest people, and you can tell when he puts his hand up and he's kind of like, "Hold! What is that? Those things you're bringing with you?" And he's kind of referring to the small
To the
scaled
tabaxi.
creature.
Got it.
Does he have a visible coin purse?
The guard, make a perception check. Let me see if you can
No,
get-
I'm memeing. I'm good.
Okay. Oh, I couldn't tell. Maybe you'd like to get your hands sticky again. I don't know.
I'm tempted, but no. Like, there's a limit to how sticky my fingers can get in one episode.
So, but yes, he is referring to the small scaled creature on top of dead people.
That will be a kobold, sir.
I was referring more to those things that he sits upon.
Well, you've got one of those things inside of you too. Just not animated in quite the same way.
Yes, and that makes all the difference, I think.
Pretty sure they used to be goblins, if I remember right.
You can't. Well, yes, but even humans have skeletons. Everyone has skeletons. We're all just really skeletons inside piles of meat, aren't we?
Surely your wisdom knows no bounds.
Clearly.
I do like the logic. It's the logical progression. First you're a person, then you're a zombie, then you're a skeleton.
You're a skeleton. We all end up as skeletons. I don't know what this guy's issue is.
So, some other of the Lord's kind of men come around, and he's like, "I don't know who you think we are, but the Lord will not allow such disgusting magic to go on within his territory. I'll have to ask you to leave before we force you." In which you guys hear another voice from behind him, and he says, "Stay out of this, Ricardo. They work for us." And he kind of turns around. He turns around with this just disgusted expression. He's like, "Who dares to just interrupt my bit?" And he turns around.
When he turns around, I want to pull his pants down.
Let's
To
see.
be fair, that's a lot more obvious than like undoing his belt. So I
Yeah.
think
so,
we'd all see that happen.
Let's see. You know
No, I'm
what?
gonna be fairly obvious about it. I don't need a roll sleight of hand. I'm just gonna do it. Just gonna yank it.
Yeah, you're right.
Kolg is going to take his hand and put it over his face and sigh.
So he turns out, he's like, so yeah, as he's like, who dares to interrupt my business? And then you just come running up and just pants him. And, which gets a couple of chuckles from the local townspeople who are still like, they're like, ha ha, kind of laughing, but they're still nervous at the group of undead, but they're like, okay.
Fuck this dude in particular.
And he's like looking down, and then like the couple of guards next to him are just like both embarrassed but also chuckling, like, this has to be one of the most eventful things to happen to us today. And as he like embarrassingly picks up his pants and he looks back and he sees Felipe and he's not happy, but his attention is still more focused on the man behind him, which is a Raven Guard, which is as you might remember, the local Concord Knights that kind of help people voluntarily, and he's the one who kind of gave you the job
before, right?
Yeah, it's the same one.
Yeah, still in the town.
And he says, well, if that public display wasn't proof enough, I think you should get on your way before you embarrass the Lord's name even further. And he's like, he's just flustered. He's like, these fools making... I'll teach them to make a fool of the Lord's men. You won't hear the end of this. And you, Raven Guard, you shouldn't even be here. We'll take care of you along with these troublemakers. And he just goes running off. And the other guards who were like with him were kind of like, I thought we were going to do some busting of some like necromancy, but all right, I guess we're running. They just follow him. That's the end of them. And the Raven Guard's kind of like, apologies if they gave you trouble. And he kind of like, then he sees the undead and he's like, I see what the issue is about. Perhaps we should conclude our business outside of the town then, just to give everyone peace of mind. Well, yeah, I've been waiting. Follow me, I guess. He kind of starts walking past you.
All right, going with him.
So yeah, it's a quick little walk back outside the not really the wall. There's not a wall in this town, but outside the last house, I guess. And he kind of looks around. He's like, I see there's some new faces from when I last hired you guys.
Yeah, we kind of stumbled upon them back at the Goblin's Cave. They were a little captured, and, well, it worked out for us. Well, most of us.
Well, that being said, you did take
The
care of
important ones.
You did take care of the goblins, then, I assume.
They explode when you kill them.
The goblins weren't really the problem. It was another creature involved, an illithid. Hey, I got it right the first time this time. I'm good today, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of like an illithid. I'm sorry, I don't recognize the name. But
purple skin, squiddly face, tentacles for a mouth, eats brains, lives underground.
He has a worried expression on his face. He's like, I might have read something about them one time. They sound familiar, but can't say I've ever seen one myself.
Yeah, when you get involved with the slave trade, you kind of hear the name a lot more, so I don't blame you. But this one wasn't quite right in the head, mostly because it wasn't as immediately violent and mind-rapey as it could be. But also, it was kind of in ill health. Probably the only reason we actually beat it. One of us died in the process, and it turns out he was kind of doing an experiment on these goblins. Using these crystals to grow some weird things inside of them. Kind of volatile. I don't think it was emblematic for anything larger, but still kind of worrying.
I see.
Got a book somewhere in here, and Cole will just kind of like fish through his bag and just like hand it over. I think this was his journal, of all things.
He flips through it and he says, well, doesn't mean anything to me. Maybe
I figured
someone
maybe
else in
you
town.
had the resources to translate it somewhere.
I'm sure we can get it to somebody. So I imagine this creature is dead then, yes, and our problem's taken care of.
Seems so. Not a living thing left in there, as evidenced of. And Cole just kind of like shiftily looks over to the Tower of Goblins and looks back.
Yeah, this
Yeah, they're
guy's
all
not.
dead.
Yeah, he's looking. I see.
I think. I think we sent one of the previous scouts back. They actually survived.
Yes, we found him. He's resting now. He thanks you for your efforts.
That's good. That's good.
Um,
So about the payment.
right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cover some extra funeral expenses too, so we're gonna need his cut as well.
Yes, of course. I managed to gather what coin the Raven Guard in the local town was willing to spare. We had some issues with it because, unfortunately, the local guard didn't think that raising money for a job well done was an just effort to rouse some coin. They thought we were doing something crazy, like trying to extort the people, but I mean, do what they will. But this is what we managed to gather for you. And he kind of like takes a pouch and he hands it over. Split
Alright,
it
let's
amongst
see
yourself
it.
as much as you need. And
How much gold is it?
so yeah, in the pouch, after counting it out for some couple of minutes, you find that there are 200 gold pieces and there are 80 silver pieces.
So
And a handful of copper. You think maybe about 15.
okay, so 200 divided by 3 is 66 repeating.
Coke is going to just like kind of put a hand on you, take the gold pouch, and go. We're gonna split it 50-20.
66 repeating. That's infinite gold.
The gold just
And
keeps
Coke is
splitting.
going to offer up 50 gold to the new tabaxi and go. This is gonna be payment by your services for whatever shit I gotta do next.
Very well.
I do like how the Tabaxis follow us all the way back to town on the gesture of asking a question that was never answered. What are you doing with that guy? Follows you back to town.
Hey, if he's gonna be following us anyway, you know, he may as well lift a little weight. So I'm gonna take 50 gold and 20 silver.
He enjoys watching his rival being manipulated as an undead husk, so it's fun.
I mean,
So
just here's a
still-
question. If he's your rival, what kind of rival? A
Romantic.
rival? Yeah. I mean, if it's a romantic rival, I think you got him beat by now. And if not, then you weren't really a rival.
I'd hope you haven't beat if he's a corpse.
He's the Weekend at Bernie's 2 character where the women keep falling in love with him.
Oh god.
But he's dead. No, but seriously, what kind of rival?
Competitive.
Say what?
Competitive. They were trying to outdo each other, you know?
I mean, you can always still try to outdo him.
I mean, if we're talking about who outdid each other in death, I mean, I think he's winning, so maybe you got something.
Yeah, I'm
to
sure we
look
can
for.
arrange a more explosive death for you. Wait, no, that might actually be difficult, huh?
Well, not really, because Beck didn't explode.
No, the crystal did.
Right, but Beck was killed in a normal manner, not an explosive manner.
No, I'm pretty sure the crystal did it in.
Ah.
Yeah, it was the exploding elliptic that killed him.
Yeah, but at the same time, he didn't explode.
Right.
Man,
He
where
died
am I
from
gonna
an
get an exploding crystal like that? Maybe I could get 2 of them.
I mean, Beck could always just challenge you to a duel and you could settle it now and forever.
Oh, I me.
Not you. Kev, I guess. I don't know what your name actually is.
Kafra.
Okay, Kafka.
No, Kafra.
All right,
God bless you.
don't Final Fantasy. All right. With that, the Raven Guard kind of goes, well, That's kind of all the help we need for now. I don't know how much longer you plan on staying, but if you are looking for more work, I would recommend heading off towards Furrow's Reach. You just have to continue down the path here. It's the capital of the Lord's region. I don't know how happy his men will be there to see those. Just continues looking at the undead, and he says, "But if you can somehow either maybe drop them off somewhere or convince them to let you keep them, I'm sure you can find much better work in there than somewhere like here."
Or we could just go to the city-state of Ulrich.
Who should we be looking for there?
Well, if you're looking to do more work like you have, there is an adventuring guild. There's also other mercenary guilds that do smaller jobs, but if you want something big like the one you probably just went on, the Adventurers Guild there is probably the best bet. It's run by a man named Kovkinski, if I remember correctly. He's a brutish dwarf. He's got
Got it.
He's got, from what I hear, he's got a beard of all varying colors. It's quite a sight, I hear.
Or you
Oh,
guys
I
could
kinda wanna
visit
see
my
that now.
home.
Yeah, so I suppose if you want to go someplace more accepting, you could go to Ulrich.
It's a great place. You ought to see it.
The law is a bit different there, but
But there is a law.
there's a law, yes. Haven't been there myself, and
It's a fantastic place.
I'm sure. Well, with that, I'll leave you to make your decisions, and with that, he kind of makes his way back into the town.
I vote Ulrich.
Alright,
So-
Colt will kind of go to the tavern, get some food, pull out his maps, and see how far away is Farrowgate.
Furgate is about 2 days from Fairmeadow, where you guys are now.
Mm-hmm.
That's over in the east direction. You can tell that Lord Knack knows that Ulrich is over in the west. That's about more of a 4 to 5 day journey.
Adventure!
Yeah, it's more of an adventure to get to. And you'll come up upon other things along the way there. But yeah, either or has some pretty unique things to experience. So if you want something more filled with people like who you've met in this town, I mean, Furrow's Reach is probably better because Ulrich is very different. But I mean, that's not a negative way to say.
You heard it ever? Bane hates things that are different. People, specifically.
But undoubtedly, Ulrich is more inland.
Yes. By far.
Right, gonna be increasingly difficult to pirate that in the future.
To do what?
It's already stretching it, honestly.
Increasingly difficult to do what?
Nothing.
So we're traveling to the next town, right?
Or Ulrich.
Well, I just paid for this cat, and this short guy over here is still... Well, I guess you're still adjacent to me, right?
Yeah.
Alright, cool, that works out.
Okay,
So,
where we
question
go.
is if you're gonna come with us.
Absolutely. Where there's coin to be had and gods to be worshipped, I'll be there, preaching the love and true light of God.
Oh, I mean, you weren't in doubt. I'm talking about this little guy.
I'm still trying to sell you guys on Ulrich.
So let's go to Ulrich. I don't give a shit where we go.
Ah, see, the other little guy's with me. I'll give him a chair.
Out of skeletons.
Yeah,
Even though, since I guess you guys are in the tavern now, since that's where Cold Crush went, there are perfectly normal wooden chairs to sit on. But he's like, "You're okay now. You can have some of my
Oh,
skeletons."
I thought we were, in the street still.
Well, when Cold Crush said he went into the tavern, I assume everyone else followed.
I thought we were still talking to the guy outside. I didn't hear him say that.
Oh, he already left.
Yeah, no, he left.
I'm sorry, you
I
said...
apologize for thinking otherwise.
It's all good.
We had a whole discussion, so I just went like pinpoint focused on Ulrich, so I didn't.
That's okay. I mean, the conversation doesn't change much in a tavern or outside of the tavern.
You could go home again. Like, oh, I gotta get these guys to Ulrich.
So currently we're at a who wants to go to Ulrich and who wants to go to Furrow's Reach.
Well, we've
Let's
already
go
seen how they're
to
gonna. Yeah, we already seen how they're gonna react in Furrow's Reach. But they will react better in Ulrich.
Right, but each of those skeletons doesn't get you a vote here.
No, but we're still 2-2. Hey, Tabaxi guy.
Yes. Okay, out of character, which of these options has the Adventurers Guild within it?
That is Furrow's Reach.
Does Ulrich not have also an Adventurers Guild?
They have mercenary guilds, but honestly, there's
Same thing!
Yes, but in this world, it's
in the loosest
they have
sense of the
slight
word.
differences.
Yeah, we do the same jobs, and we get paid the same money.
Either way, we probably need to be leaving before a local thieves guild notices how many pockets I've been picking.
You think a town this small has a guild?
Any town with homeless people has eyes for a thieves guild.
I'm gonna look
Yeah,
over.
but that's more like a thieves' underground basement kind of thing.
Gonna
not-
look
not a
over at
guild.
Kebab and say, hey, if you want your guy's stuff back, I'll give it to you in Ulrich.
Very well.
Boom! 3-1, Ulrich.
Ah,
The
well, shit,
bribes
I lost.
continue, and thus the
I'm
crew
gonna have to
has.
buy another map. I hope you're happy.
You don't have to buy another map, I'll get you a map in Ulrich. The grand city-state of Ulrich.
You just wanna go
Fine.
home.
I got kidnapped, what do you want? You guys should be, like, trying to sell me on getting me home.
I mean, you seem kind of sold on getting yourself home, honestly.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get back there with PCs.
Let's go.
So, with the voting has concluded, you guys make your way out of the tavern, out of Fairmeadow, and out west to your 4 to 5 day journey towards the city-state of Ulrich.
By the way,
I'm
it's in
sure-
the middle of a desert. I hope you guys are prepared.
Yep,
Okay.
I've just spent for some rations before we left.
Yeah, that would be good. How much are rations?
75 gold. It's a bad economy.
Yeah, it's bad.
I don't have rations at all. I should buy some of those.
Or
How much
steal
were they?
coal.
75?
I give you 5 rations.
How much are rations?
Like 5 silver?
Free, because he's giving them to you.
Well, there's 5 rations. How many days away is it?
5.
Okay.
Yep, that was the whole point. Also,
Okay,
it makes my
perfect.
math easier.
Thanks, Ben.
Also, I still have 21 more days.
And with that, you take your leave and make your way back off to the city-state of Ulrich, which I'm sure Lord Knack has no short things to say about it. You know, constantly being like, "Oh yeah, and you could do this in Ulrich. You could do this in Ulrich. Oh yeah, and these things happen in Ulrich."
How
It's great.
about a history check to see if anybody knows anything about Ulrich?
Yeah, why don't we have history checks? Let's everyone roll a history check. Let's see.
Let's do it.
Well, I mean, I'm from there. This isn't for me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not for you.
You're from there, but you don't know anything about it.
I'm literally a magister. I'm part of the city. Part of the city, part of the crew.
So yeah, you guys don't know too much about the city-state of Ulrich.
Oh, this will be fun.
What you do know is, if Lord Knack hasn't displayed it proudly himself, is that necromancy is probably more accepted in Ulrich than anywhere else. It's actually wanted as or at least you've heard that undead are used for labor in the city. And other than that, it's a kind of a home to dragonkin and dragonkind. So you'll find mostly dragonborn there and other scaled people, maybe other kobolds and stuff. Other than that, you don't know too much about Ulrich. But with that being said, you guys make your journey. And let's see if I'm gonna.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, the way that death works is that you are not your body. When you die, you get sent to a plane predisposed to your alignment. And there you reside.
D&D operates in the whole mind-body dichotomy. It's like, well, how do they work together? Well, clearly they were prearranged to be in harmony by the gods, and all that. So, there you go.
Right, so your physical form, reanimated by magic, has nothing to do with your soul. Therefore, there is no evil intent. And since your body is now an inanimate object, it is owned by the state. And thus the state has free reign to use your body in whatever form or fashion they desire. And we desire to use it as physical work labor. Work the
I can only
fields.
imagine your zombie apocalypses are pretty frequent.
Well, I mean,
That's actually a really good argument for necromancy. There's no such thing as bodily autonomy here. You don't get to choose what we do with your corpse after you're gone. Your
Well-
soul's gone. Your corpse is forfeit. We're not going to put it in the ground and just take up resources. We're going to use it. I like that. All right. You've convinced me, sir.
Thus the city state of Ulrich sounds more appealing to the group. Everyone's
So-
happy.
I mean, it makes sense, Shit. All right.
yeah, and you don't attack the undead of Ulrich because they're state property. That's effectively attacking the state.
Let's see. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna make some rolls real quick. See if anything eventful happens throughout the days getting there.
But yeah, no, I don't imagine the
Ancient dragon.
I don't imagine the zombie apocalypse as well. I don't think you'd also encounter an ancient dragon on the way to Ulrich, where the ancient dragon probably lives. But the zombie apocalypse probably doesn't happen in Ulrich because you have to be at least a 3rd level wizard to start raising and controlling the undead. And as many undead as you can have, you have to be a higher level wizard. And thus,
Well, you never know. Sometimes, maybe you try to handle more than you can chew, or, maybe one of
sure
them
that,
dies.
right,
I'm
but you
sure
have to
the
have legal
equivalent to
authority.
guards in Ulrich- I'm sure the equivalent to guards in Ulrich are just high-level spellcasters that just go around casting animate dead on the already created undead.
Well, yeah, that's why. That's where the term magister keeps coming from. What I'm saying here is, to be a high-level officiant in Ulrich, you have to be a magic user of some ability.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Which I guess would be
Hey,
information
papers-
that I would say in character to you guys as we're traveling, as questions keep coming up.
I can cast spells, I just can't raise the dead. I won't
Like,
be able
I'm
to
sure
raise
there
the dead
must
till
be some
high level.
magister clerics as well. Maybe even
Yeah.
some magister bards.
I imagine it's anyone who can cast raise dead.
Right, well, bards can cheat the system too.
Yeah.
Should they choose to?
Well, yeah, no, magical secrets. A College of Lore can get a magical secret at 6th level to be able to cast Animate Dead.
All right. So you guys, as you're talking about this over the course of 3 days, nothing eventful happens. It's just a lot of change of scenery. However, on the 4th day, you're getting. By this time, you've already kind of entered the small dunes that kind of lead to Ulrich, and are slowly making your way. Surely, Lord Nag knows you're not too far off now. But while you're traveling, you guys see ahead of you is a what seemingly seems to be a humanoid figure, hunched over and kind of wrapped around in all sorts of cloths, and with this big bag on his back, kind of making his way towards you guys in a slow kind of shuffle. And he seems to have a bunch of items kind of hanging off his bag.
Does he look like he's actually walking towards us, like specifically us, or is he just walking in our direction?
Make a perception check. See if you can tell.
Turns out to be that spider guy again.
18?
He does seem to be walking towards you guys.
Okay. I'll step up. Hey, how's it going?
So yeah, as you kind of walk towards him, and he like sees you approach him, he stops, and he goes, "Ah, hello, weary travelers. Unfortunately, this weather does not suit me, but your faces might change that. If you're looking for some unique wares to purchase, perhaps." And he kind of already is taking off his bag.
Then he
Let's see what
unwraps
he
all
got.
the sheets and like 6 more arms come out, and he's a spider, and he's got his chest. Random rolls.
You wouldn't happen to have a mystery crate, would you?
I have crates. I can't say they're much of a mystery.
No, the
Oh,
real
Ah, dang it. I
the
was
real
looking at-
answer here is yes, I do, at the cost of 10 real-life dollars.
So we're more than happy to browse, but we're little light on coin.
Yes, as long as you link me your PayPal account.
Anything could be in this barrel of fish, even a fish.
Or
That
water.
Alright. Let's see
But
what
with
he
that, he
has.
kind of opens his pack and he says, if you're running low on food, I can sell this off to you. I also have unique, he kind of like looks at you guys and he says, I see you are warriors, at least most of you are. Perhaps this might interest you. And he kind of pulls out a handful of these stones and he says, I picked these up from my departure in Ulrich. They are magical whetstones that you can use to sharpen your blades and perhaps cut deeper.
Is that a real
If that's-
thing?
I mean, you
Yeah.
wouldn't know. You don't know what's sold in all.
I mean, I cast Detect Magic. Is that a real thing?
You cast detect magic, and those stones do seem to be magical of some sort.
All
Whether
right.
they do what he tells you they do,
I cast
Yeah.
Identify. What are they?
they are magical whetstones that give a bonus to weapons that they're used on. Specifically to they give a +1 to attack and damage rolls for an hour.
Could I?
How much they going for?
I sell them for a measly 5 gold apiece.
How many does he have? Shit.
He's got from the handful he's held out, he has currently 6 in his hand.
What if you use them as sling stones? Do they get
I'll
plus
take
2?
one.
Take one.
Are they consumed?
Don't eat the stones.
He does tell you, yes, they do lose their magical properties after being used. Unfortunate.
I will take 3 of them for 15 gold.
I purchased one already.
Okay.
A little too
So-
slow.
Right, but he's got 6 of them.
So he hands them out to you guys and gladly takes the gold and he says, pleasure doing business. Let's see what else I can offer. And he kind of shuffles through his bag and he says, I see you're quite the armored few. Perhaps I don't have much in the way of gear like that with me, But if you ever find your way to Furrow's Reach, be sure to find me.
Okay.
I'll be sure to see if I can't upgrade what you already have. My name is Adric, by the way.
Adric? Fuck.
No,
Yeah.
he said Abdrick.
He said abracadabric.
Abracadabra. Gotcha.
No, his name is just another variant of Kafka.
And but with that, he says, unfortunately, friends, I don't have much else to offer. Unless you'd like to purchase some of the food I have available.
No.
I got plenty right now.
Then with that, he kind of closes up his bag, sets it up on his back, and he kind of bids you all a good day as he kind of continues on his way.
There we go.
So yeah, you got some of these magical whetstones. So yeah, let's see if anything happens on the last day before you get to
The apocalypse.
the apocalypse town. Nope, nothing crazy happens. So eventually, after walking through the desert and camping for one night and doing all sorts of stuff, you finally see the first of 3 walls into the city-state of Ulrich. These high sandstone just structures standing at the peak. And in the center lies this huge palace, much larger than probably anything you've seen either ever or in a very long time. It's a very unique building, to say the least. But as you are already approaching the walls and the gates, you already see outside in the desert are an undead workforce kind of clearing a nice path to the gate. They're also doing some side work. There's also some small and seems to be not struggling, but it could be better farms near the walls themselves. And there's also some other living inhabitants kind of watching over them as they do their work.
So the
But
benefit is that they never tire, so you can always assign them menial tasks, like clearing sand from a desert.
it's true.
I wish this path to the gate wasn't so filled with sand. You, skeletons, move the sand from here to here.
Comb the desert.
So with that
I
said,
understand like the wisdom behind it. It's just
so as you reach the gate, you see pretty much at the gate are 2 of these heavily armored guards, which Lord Nack you know to be undead, but they're just basically there to look intimidating and attack people if necessary. But also there is a black scale dragonborn in long leathers and a very light silk robe. And as he kind of sees you approaching, he sees you, Knack, and apparently he knows who you are because he says, "Ah, Lord Knack, it seems you have finally graced us with your presence."
Ah, Jimmy Schmitz, is that you?
"Yes, the complete dragonborn name, Jimmy Schmitz, it is I." No, it's not Jimmy Schmitz.
Jimmy Schmitz,
No.
you two-timing son of a bitch, what are you doing?
You son of a bitch! Clasp the arms now. He says,
City explodes.